Monitoring of transactions. Ongoing monitoring is an essential element of effective KYC procedures. Post offices can effectively control and reduce their risk only if they have an understanding of the normal and reasonable activity of the customer, so that they have the means of identifying transactions that fall outside the regular pattern of activity. However, the extent of monitoring will depend on the risk sensitivity of the transactions. Post offices should pay special attention to all complex, unusually large transactions and all unusual patterns which have no apparent economic or visible lawful purpose. High risk transactions have to be subjected to intensified monitoring. Every post office should set key indicators for such transaction, taking note of the background of the customer, such as the country of origin, sources of funds, the type of transactions involved, and other risk factors. Post offices should exercise ongoing due diligence with respect to the business relationship with every client and closely examine the transactions in order to ensure that they are consistent with their knowledge of the client, his business and risk profile, and where necessary the source of funds. Post office should examine the background and purpose of transactions with persons from jurisdictions included in the Financial Action Task Force statements, FATF statements, and countries that do not or insufficiently apply the FATF recommendations. Further, if the transactions have no apparent economic or visible lawful purpose, the background and purpose of such transactions should, as far as possible, be examined, and the written findings, together with all the documents, should be retained and made available to the Reserve Bank and or other relevant authorities on request. Attempted transactions. Where the post office is unable to apply appropriate KYC measures due to non-furnishing of information and or non-cooperation by the customer, the post office should not undertake the transaction. Under these circumstances, the post office should make a suspicious transactions report to FIUIND in relation to the customer, even if the transaction is not put through. Risk management. All customers, according to the amount involved at the time of undertaking transactions, have been categorized in the perspective of risk involved as mentioned at 5.1b above. However, the following general guidelines may be referred to. For high risk level 3 transactions, additional photo ID proof, which should be currently valid passport or UID card, not letter, issued by UIDAI, in addition to the KYC documents that are taken for other transactions, should be taken. For high risk level 3 transactions, additional address proof like a copy of the latest landline, mobile phone bill, electricity bill, in addition to the KYC documents that are taken for all transactions. Payments for doubtful transactions, where documentary information is complete but the customer or transaction raises any suspicion or doubt, should be made by account payee checks for transactions amounting to rupees 20,000 or above. Original photo ID and address proof should be checked and compared to the copies given for all transactions. It should be ensured that signature on the ID proof matches the signature on forms filled up by the customers. All documents accepted from the customer should be self-attested by the customer. The photos affixed on the ID proof given by the customer should be matched with the customer actually undertaking the transaction. Any questions put forth while ensuring the genuineness of the customer should be properly recorded on the document, so as to keep a proof and record the circumstances which made the transactions appear genuine, especially in cases where prima facie the transactions might have raised some suspicion. Inspection audit of AML KYC documents procedures. All circles should ensure that there is regular auditing of the post offices in respect of compliances for AML KYC norms regularly to ensure a strict adherence to the KYC policies and procedures. The inspectorial staff is well versed with the AML KYC norms and procedures, and that the transactions are regularly checked during the course of visits and inspections of all the inspectorial staff for AML KYC compliance. On-hand training to the post office staff should also be given regularly by these visiting officers to ensure that the staff is well versed with the subject. Checks of all cross-border inward remittance transactions under MTSS and Forex transactions should be done to verify that they have been undertaken in compliance with the anti-money laundering guidelines and have been reported whenever required to the concerned authorities. Complaints on the lapses, if any, recorded by the concurrent auditors should be put up to the higher authorities immediately. Introduction of new technologies. Post offices should pay special attention to any money laundering threats that may arise from new or developing technologies, including transactions through internet that might favor anonymity, and take measures to prevent their use for money laundering purposes and financing of terrorism activities. Combating financing of terrorism. In terms of PML rules, suspicious transactions should include inter alia transactions which give rise to a reasonable ground of suspicion that these may involve the proceeds of an offense regardless of the value involved. Post offices should therefore develop suitable mechanism for enhanced monitoring of transactions suspected of having terrorist links and shift identification of the transactions and making suitable reports to the FIUIND on priority. Post offices are advised to take into account risk arising from the deficiencies in AML CFT regime of certain jurisdictions with Iran, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Sao Tome and Democratic Republic of Korea, Bolivia, Cuba, Ethiopia, Kenya, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Syria, Turkey and Nigeria as identified in FATF statement issued from time to time while dealing with individuals from these jurisdictions. In addition to FATF statements circulated by the Reserve Bank of India from time to time, post offices should also consider using publicly available information for identifying countries which do not or insufficiently apply the FATF recommendations. All post offices are accordingly advised to take into account risks arising from the deficiencies in AML CFT regime of these countries while entering into business relationship and transactions with the person, including legal persons and other financial institutions from or in these countries or jurisdictions, and give special attention to these cases. Maintenance of records of transactions. All post offices shall maintain the record of all transactions of money remittance and forex, include the record of all cash transactions of the value of more than 10 lakh, all series of cash transactions which are less than 10 lakh but are integrally connected and are carried out within 1 month period and totally exceed rupees 10 lakh. Any transaction where cash is accepted and forged or counterfeit currency notes are used, or where forgery of valuable security or documents has taken place. Any attempted transaction involving forged or counterfeit currency notes, forged documents. All suspicious transactions, whether or not made in cash and by way of first mentioned in the rules. Definition of suspicious transaction. Suspicious transaction means a transaction defined in clause 5 below, including an attempted transaction, whether or not made in cash, which to a person acting in good faith, given rise to a reasonable ground of suspicion that it may involve proceeds of an offence specified in the schedule to the act, regardless of the value involved, or appears to be made in circumstances of unusual or unjustified complexity, or appears to have no economic rationale or bona fide purpose, or give rise to a reasonable ground of suspicion that involve financing of the activities relating to terrorism. Transaction includes exchange or transfer of funds in whatever currency, whether in cash or by check, payment order or other instruments, or by electronic or other non-physical means. Information to be preserved. Post offices are required to maintain all necessary information in respect of transactions to permit reconstruction of individual transactions, including the following information: the nature of the transaction, the amount of the transaction and the currency in which it was denominated, the date on which the transaction was conducted, and the parties to the transaction. Maintenance and preservation of records. There should be proper maintenance and preservation of transaction information in a manner that allows data to be retrieved easily and whenever required or when requested by the competent authorities. Further, post offices should maintain for at least 10 years from the date of transaction all necessary records of transactions, both with residents and non-residents, which will permit reconstruction of individual transaction, including the amounts and types of currency involved if any, so as to provide, if necessary, evidence for prosecution of persons involved in criminal activity. Post offices should ensure that records pertaining to the identification of the customer and his address, example copies of documents like passport, driving license, PAN card, voter ID issued by the Election Commission, utility bills, etc., obtained while undertaking the transaction are properly preserved for at least 10 years from the date of cessation of the business relationship. The identification records and transaction data should be made available to the competent authorities upon request. As mentioned in the foregoing paras, post offices have been advised to pay special attention to all complex, unusual, large transactions and all unusual patterns of transaction which have no apparent economic or visible lawful purpose. It is further clarified that the background, including all documents, office records, memoranda pertaining to such transactions and purpose thereof, should as far as possible be examined and the findings should be properly recorded. Such records and related documents should be made available to help auditors in their day-to-day work relating to scrutiny of transactions and also to Reserve Bank or other relevant authorities. These records are required to be preserved for 10 years as is required under Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 as amended by Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2009 and Prevention of Money Laundering, that is maintenance of records of the nature and value of transactions, the procedure and manner of maintaining and time for furnishing information and verification of maintenance of records of the identity of the clients of the banking companies, financial institutions and intermediaries, Rules 2005 as amended from time to time.